So now we're going to cover how to use the friend invites bookmark. So now that you have it installed, we're going to log into Facebook. And when you're on Facebook, we're going to search for an authority, a celebrity. We're going to find a post that your target audience has engaged with, right? So essentially that they've liked. So give some thought to this, because this is really where the magic happens, right? The whole purpose behind the friend invite bookmark is to automate the process of building a massive audience. And your audience is essentially the 5,000 friends that you're allowed to have on your profile. So when you post things, when you do video lives or Facebook lives, these are the people that are going to interact with you and your Facebook profile. So give some thought on who you want your audience to be. And we want to think about where our audience is. What posts are they liking? Who are they following? Because those are the posts that we need to find, right? The posts that our ideal audience is engaging with. So for example, if you're in the internet marketing space and you're selling a Facebook ads training, then ideally you'd want to find somebody who's an authority on Facebook ads, who's maybe doing a Facebook live training on ads. And everybody who likes that video, is engaged at least at some level in marketing, and they're interested in Facebook ads. So that would be an ideal audience for you to sell Facebook training to. If you're in the health and wellness industry, then you might want to find a health and wellness celebrity or a weight loss celebrity. If you're in insurance or real estate, then you might want to find an authority in insurance or real estate. And the people that your audience are following and engaging with, or whoever's post they're engaging with, those are the people that you want to find those posts and invite those friends to become your audience. So I hope that makes sense, but give some thought to that. For this example, we're just going to pick Kevin Hart, right? Now, obviously, Kevin Hart isn't the ideal celebrity unless you're selling Kevin Hart stuff, right? Kevin Hart branded stuff. So let's scroll down. Now, ideally, the more recent the post, the higher quality the friend invite or the audience is going to be. So we generally will look for posts that are within the last 24 hours. If it's within 2 hours, that's excellent, but sometimes it doesn't have enough engagement in the first 2 hours. If it's 8 hours, that's generally perfect. If it's a week, that's still okay, but we find that the user audience maybe isn't going to be as engaged or as active. So the more recent the post, the better, but we'll use this just for an example. So this has 17,000 likes. So once you find a post where your audience is, and those are the people you want to friend invite or send invites to, you're going to click on this link here that shows you everyone who's liked this post. Now, once you're at this point, then we're going to click the FB friend invites bookmark. And this is going to modify the page a little bit. It's going to show you how many invites have been processed up here on the top left-hand corner. And it's going to give you two options. You have delay and attempts. So before we click the start button, we want to enter in a delay, and this is in seconds. And the reason we want to delay is because if we friend invite 500 people at once, we're going to get blocked immediately, right? So we want to kind of follow something that's not going to flag Facebook. So in our testing, a 10-second delay between friend invites is pretty safe. We haven't had any problems at all with 10 seconds. If you run it for 1 second, the software will do it. It'll send out 500 friend invites every 1 second, or it'll send out one invite every second, but you're going to get flagged, right? Or you run the high risk of doing that. So we ran 5 seconds without any issues. 10 seconds is really where we're comfortable. If you want to be really safe, you could even put it to 30 seconds, walk away from your computer and just let it run for a couple hours or whatever it needs. For attempts, these are the number of friend invites you're going to send. Now, it says attempts because not every invite is going to be successful. And there's a couple instances in where a friend invite won't be sent out, but the software will take care of all that for you. So in this example, I would put like 500. So there's only two rules with the attempts. Number one, the number of friend invites that you enter in here has to be less than the number of people that like the post. And I know it's kind of common sense, right? But I got to say it because sometimes people will overlook that detail. If you have a post that has, 500 likes, you can't invite 1,000 friends, right? The math just doesn't work. So the number of invites that you send has to be less than the number of people that like the post. And number two, keep in mind how many pending requests you currently have, right? Facebook, at least at this time, allows you to have up to 1,000 pending friend requests. But Once you have 1,000 pending friend requests, you can't send out any more invites until you delete those pending friend requests, which is where the delete pending friends requests bookmark comes into play, but we'll cover that in another video. So just keep that in mind. If you send out 1,500, if you put 1,500 here, the software will do it, but you might run into a problem when you max out on your pending requests that haven't been accepted yet. So in this case, we're just going to put 500. And once you have these two parameters entered in here, you're just going to click start. And before I click start, I want to scroll down here. So what Facebook will generally do is they'll show you about 50 friends, and you have to click this see more button to find more friends. When you click start, the software is going to automate all the process of finding all the friends that you need to send invites to. So I'm going to click on start, and this is going to do a quick count up to 500. And once it finds 500 potential friends to invite, then the process will be started. All right, so it's almost there. It takes a couple of seconds. And once 500 friends are identified, then it's going to wait your first 10 seconds, which is this period right here. And after 10 seconds, it's going to send the first invite. Now, there are a couple things you may come across, and you can just let this run. So there's our first attempt that's sent. You don't have to, which was this person right here. You don't have to do anything if you get any pop-ups. So you don't have to close the window. You don't have to click cancel. You don't have to do any of that stuff. We're just going to let this run. And maybe we'll get an example here. But sometimes when you send add a friend, you'll get a pop-up that says only send friend invites to people that you know. Other times you'll get a pop-up that says, hey, request or suggest other friends to the friend you just invited. And sometimes that usually comes up if the friend you invite has less than like 20 friends. Then Facebook will prompt you and ask you to suggest other friends to that person. So we can just let it run here for a second, and let me see if we get some of these pop-ups here. Okay, so here we go. We got a pop-up that says, do you know this person? We recommend only sending friend requests to people you know personally. You don't have to do anything. The software is going to automatically cancel that request, and then it grays it out. So anything in gray, was a canceled request. So this invite never went out. So it's going to continue to process all the way up to 500. Now, while this is processing, you can pull up another account, go to your same Facebook account, you can browse the internet, you can do whatever you want, and this will just run in the background continuously. So you don't have to stay on this page. You can be productive and do other things. The only thing you cannot do is run the delete pending request while the friender is going, right? It's not going to play well together if you run them both at the same time. So my recommendation is you let this run, do something else, and go on and move forward. Now, if you have another browser with another Facebook account, you can run this bookmark on multiple Facebook accounts all at the same time, or you could even pull up an incognito browser and you can run it from an incognito browser as well. But you just can't run the deleter with the Facebook friend invites at the same time on the same account. Now, there's one more thing I want to cover before we stop this process. If you click this X, the display here will disappear, but the tool will still keep running in the background. So I highly recommend leaving it open. And if you click this X to close down this friends box, then that may cause a little bit of errors. So we definitely want to push the stop button if you want to stop the process at any point. So now I'm going to go ahead and click stop. And now the friending invite process is going to be finished. So when it's successfully finished, I'm going to click, I'm going to just, for this example, I'm just going to do one friend invite. Now, when the process is finished, you're going to get this message here. This says the number of invites processed. And that's how you know this process is finished. Then you can click stop and you can close out the bookmark and move on to the next. And you can also close out this dialog box here at the top left-hand corner, and you are finished. And that's essentially all there is to using the friend invites bookmark.